Hello, welcome back to the fish locker out on shore. The weather has been that bad lately that you're literally having to, you can't so much pick your sessions about where you want to go, you've just got to go where you can. So I've tried to find a little bit of shelter and I'm fishing up in the river. Just see, I've just got my rods out behind me. I always like to get set up before I set the camera up, just so I've got something fishing while I'm talking to the camera. What I'm going to be doing is I've just knocked up a couple of pulley rigs. I've come out here and I didn't expect the river to be flowing this fast. The tides aren't very big right now, but they're still flowing quite fast. The tide's flooding, so it's going in that way. We've got another hour and a half for the flood, so we're going to fish like an hour and a half up and an hour and a half down. I'm just looking for anything, bullous, dogfish, whiting, bass, anything. Just something to get us out fishing. The rig that I was going to use was going to be a pulley dropper rig, but because it's flowing so hard, that tends to ride the rig up, so I've had to change. So what I've done is I've just knocked up a couple of pulley rigs real quick. And this is all the rig is. It's literally got a pulley bead locked into a piece, the lead. You connect the pulley bead up to your main line, your hook length onto there, your hook length clips down to your lead, so it clips the bait down, and when it hits the bottom it releases. The beauty of this being that if you leave enough slack in the line, the bait, the weight should dig in like that, a bow in the line will pull up against there and your bait will be up in the current. That's the theory. We will see if it works out. I'm just going to use little bits of bluey, some squid, and some little bits of like frozen worm and bits I have left over. This is how the rig works. You can see it clips your bait down, and your line goes through the pulley bead there, so that when the bait hits the bottom like that, it releases, and this is free sliding through there. This is also good if you're fishing on rocky ground, because as soon as you pick a fish up, it means that your line, the fish pulling against your line, will pull your lead all the way through, so it keeps your lead up out of the way. We are getting a little bit of a bite on this rod here. Now it is only a little pecking bite, so it could very likely be a little dogfish. But I have had some cracking bullous from this mark, and I've even seen some good congers come off here, so you just never can tell. It's a big bait, so we'll let it develop. It's always a fine line, isn't it? You're always itching to strike and get into the fish. Well, at least there's something there. Dogfish, when they find a bait, they'll peck at it and bite at it and roll around on it. Bullhuss, what you'll often get is like a real aggressive bite. So they seem to come in and like rag at it and then drop it. Sometimes they'll come back and get it and move off with it. Other times they'll just rag at it and then go for no reason. Really frustrating. Bass, sometimes you get like a double bite. They come in and like mouth the bait and see what they like it and spit it out, and if they go, yeah, I like that, they'll have it again. So often if you strike on the first bite, you'll miss it. We'll come back to that. That there is practically a live bait. Taken on the pennel hook, we have a little tiny nipping whiting. Covered in little tiny black spots, innit? Look. What that's all about. If the river's going to be full of these, we're not going to have much joy unless I put one on as a live bait. We'll see. If we keep catching these, I'll stick one out as a live bait. I'll show you real quick how I've been baiting up. Now all I've got is I've got some little joeys and I've just cut them in half. And I've got these are 3/0 specimen extras. Got them in pennel. So all I'll do is I'll just start one end and thread it through. And then do that all the way down till I get to the bottom. And you just kind of lace it all the way through the bait. Until you get right down to the end. Then if you pull it through, there, you've got your line all the way through the bait and your hook's down at the bottom. Then I'll just take my pennel hook, wrap it around a couple of 3 or 4 times and stick it through. There you go. Take some bait elastic when I can find it. Just give it a good lash. There you go, look. Both hooks proud. A nice juicy bait. Just reeled in. And the baits were completely stripped. And I don't know if you can see it. But see that damage there? It's all nipped up. Oh, this is strong line. This is like 60-pound line. There, look. You need to check your hook lengths every time. Because that crab nipping out there, if I hadn't spotted that and I'd have got a good fish, that would have snapped straight away. So, yeah, small whiting and crabs to contend with. You see that there? Yeah, it is. The bite on the left hand side rod there. So I'm going to get this hook length made up quick. I think it's probably a little whiting. I'd like to think if it had been something bigger it would have given a proper bite by now. I think we have got some little bullers. So keep getting ever so many cracking bites and then they just go. I'm going to rig up a live bait rig now. There, look, all I've got is I've just got a little hook behind a big hook on a snell knot, and you bait this little hook and hopefully catch like a little whiting. You leave it on there alive, something comes and eats the whiting and swallows the big hook. That's the theory. Great method for big bass, big cod and big conger. It's not a rig that catches lots of fish, but when it does they are big fish. Not much left of that bluey, is there? Them little tiny whiting. Let's see if we can't catch something on this live bait rig. Now look. What do you know? The usual suspects. There must have been a couple of three of them attacking that bait then. Tied it all up in a right knot. Must have been a shore of them moved through because I had bites on both rods at the same time. Just getting absolutely plagued by like little rattling bites. And I thought, I bet it's small whiting. So all I did was I've scaled right down to a tiny hook and a tiny bait, and it wasn't in the water in 10 seconds before I had a bite. And this is what they are. Little tiny pin whiting. Now these are perfect live bait size. So I'm going to leave that live bait rig out, and I'm going to cast this back out, and I'm going to make what's called a slider or a flyer. I know them as a flyer. People might know them as a slider. You just make a live bait rig. You connect it to your main line with a snap swivel and let it slide, and it just slides down so the fish will swim around, and it's for catching predatory fish like bass. Yeah, look, it's showing me that I've got my live bait still on there. I'm waiting for something big to take that, so we'll properly see like a or line will just start streaming off. I don't know if you can see the bite on there now. I don't know if you can see the bite on there, but that's a good sign that a small fish has found the bait. Now we're hoping that it hooks itself and we'll just leave it there. So just leave the little bite and you're waiting for a big bite. See? See the bite? A big bass or a big bullos or something like that, you will know when you've got it on. And when they hit a live bait, they really hit it. So we'll leave these little bumping bites now, because now we know we've got a fish. I'll back the drag right off so you can hear. So if a big fish takes it, it can take line. Now we'll just cross our fingers. That was weird, somebody hit that before I'd even got it in the rest. A bit of excitement. Yeah, before I'd even had a chance to tighten up to it in the rest. Well, we've just had a good hit and I've just lost it on a live bait rig. I'm thinking it was a conger, a little conger. See, the live rig worked in that I hooked a little fish on the smaller hook and it left the bigger hook open. But all that had happened, I think, is that the fish had attacked the whiting and missed the bigger hook. So obviously when I struck into it, I just had it on, it was just hanging on to the fish. Yeah. So that's battered. And that is the live bait rig. The tide's absolutely coursing through now, and we've just had a seal come through as well. So it's not ideal. We're going to give it another half an hour and then we're going to pack up and we're going to go. Well, we've reached the end of the session. It didn't matter what bait, on what rig, at what distance, all I come back with is these. Even down to being like this big. Little tiny whiting. I tried even on like 4-0 hooks and things like that with like half a joey on. Still coming back with these. So I fished live baits to try and get away from these little ones in the hope there'd be a bigger predatory fish around. I've just nearly lost one of the rods over the side because a seal has just come past and picked up one of the live baits. So I think that's a good sign that we're going to call it a day. being the optimist angler, I was always hoping for that one better fish. Today it just never came. We've not had great weather. We've not had great weather for weeks, so it's you're just fishing wherever you can. I hope this has been an interesting video for you. I hope it's shown you something. We did catch one bonus little tiny fish, which was actually a micro pollock. You can see the difference between a whiting and a pollock straight away there, can't you? Look, by the size of the eyes and the shape of the mouth. We're going to let these go in a second. I was just keeping them to show you. But like I say, I hope this has been interesting for you. I hope you've enjoyed watching. We're going to fish these baits out for another 10 or 15 minutes. If we catch anything, I will show you. If we don't, then I won't. In the meantime, all the best and have a good one.